Thank you for listening to BizPod with me, Paul.
And me, Rachel.
Our weekly business English podcast where we talk about the news, social media, and hot topics from a business point of view. You'll get a podcast and links to the articles we discuss. This way you can share your thoughts too. Join us as we discuss what's on our minds this week.
Paul, are you charismatic?
Well, what is charisma? How would you define charisma?
Or something that attracts people's attention and you can't quite put your finger on why.
Okay. So the article we're talking about today was written around Elon Musk, who by many people in the media is seen as this charismatic creature, would you say, person?
Well, they say he's a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, he is different, isn't he? He's different to a lot of CEOs out there, but there's something about him that, I mean, he's also a bit of an idiot.
Yeah. You say he's different. How is he different?
I don't know, he just catches your attention, either by what he says or what he does, the way he thinks. I mean, he seems to have an idea and he's like, yeah, come on, let's go do it.
Okay.
I mean, he is. The article we read said that he says he's going to be the savior of the planet because he's going to get us living on the moon, isn't he, or Mars or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a superhero.
Yeah, but is that charisma?
I don't know. It's just something. There's just something about him that catches your attention.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say it's in a positive way, but it's definitely not in a negative way. It's more sort of curiosity. He holds your attention.
Right.
Catches and holds.
Yeah. Because I have a problem with a lot of sort of, chief executives or people in the tech industry that get described as being charismatic. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, Jeff Bezos. He's described by some as being a charismatic person. He doesn't come across as charismatic to me. What about you?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know that much about Jeff Bezos. Obviously, I've seen the photos. He's getting married or just got married again.
Okay.
He's obviously an entrepreneur. He's obviously, with Amazon, he's done great things, the same as Elon Musk has with Tesla and X and SpaceX and all the rest. But I don't know. You know his name.
Yeah, I know his name. I know his face, but I don't associate him with charisma.
But I don't think you can say you have a problem with him. You don't know him personally.
No, I have no problems. I have no problem with Elon Musk, no problem with Jeff Bezos. I'd invite them around to my house, if I knew them.
You might get on with them very, very well.
Yeah, I'm sure I could empty a few $1 million from their pockets, given the chance.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just their ability to be constantly in the spotlight.
Yeah, but is that because they are charismatic or is that because they have become very, very successful in what they do?
Well, they're men. They've got money. Money equals power and influence. Women get attracted to men who have power and influence. I don't see any women in this list.
Okay.
In the articles, it all mentions men.
Yeah, that's interesting. So would you say charisma is something that's usually only ever attributed to men, or can you get charismatic females as well? I
don't know. See, the language around describing females is a lot more negative, isn't it? It's it belittles their intelligence, whereas charismatic makes somebody sound masculine and intelligent. And if you describe a woman as charismatic, it's like, hang on, she's not a man. It doesn't fit.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with using that word with a woman,
but it doesn't fit, does it?
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit.
But the words that do describe women, when you think of, for example, Jennifer Lopez, who's just released a movie where she's put 20 million of her own money in, and she stars in it, and it's actually been given quite good reviews as being entertaining. But the language around describing her, there was nothing about her being, a leader, somebody who affects change, or, somebody to aspire to, or being a role model, nothing like that. It was just, oh, here's a 54-year-old woman trying to look 36. And yeah, she's a good dancer.
Okay. If you meet her, you might think she was charismatic.
Exactly.
You never know.
I think, from what I've seen on when there've been interviews with her, I think she's very funny.
Okay.
She's got a great sense of humour.
Yeah.
I suppose after 5 husbands, you need a great sense of humour. I don't know, but
yeah.
I'm just jealous because she's got 20 million spare.
Yeah. So am I. But even more jealous of Elon Musk, who used to have $56 billion more.
Yeah, well, he was going to get it.
Then he wasn't going to get it.
I don't know whether he actually got his hands on it.
No, I don't think he ever did. It wasn't actually cash or money he was given. It was share options.
Okay.
That had the potential to be worth $56 billion when they were cashed in.
Yeah. But why did they give it to him?
Well, apparently, according to this article we're reading, it was all to do with his charismatic leadership. Mm-hmm. And that's where my understanding falls down, because I don't see anything charismatic in Elon Musk.
He does invoke conversation, discussion. Yeah. We're stood here today talking about him.
Yeah, that's true.
His influence has reached into the BizPod recording studio.
I like the fact you called it a recording studio. It makes us sound more professional than we are. But yeah,
exactly. But I mean, they said that he deserved 56 billion. The board said that he deserved 56 billion because they wanted to ensure that he would be dedicated to growing Tesla further in the future. It was like an incentive.
Yeah.
But the judge said that was a load of rubbish.
Yeah. So I suppose the story here is that Elon Musk was awarded these share options worth 56 billion. And I imagine that at least one or possibly even more of the shareholders were not happy with this situation. And they actually took the company to court, and the judge sided with the shareholders, saying it was considered unreasonable to award somebody $56 billion.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you're Elon Musk, you completely disagree with that. If I was Elon Musk, I would certainly believe that I am worth $56 billion.
Would you feed on your own sort of persona? Would you, become egotistical and narcissistic? And
I imagine so, yeah. I mean, it's very difficult not to be narcissistic when everything you read in the press is positive about you, I suppose.
Well, no, they're not always positive about Elon Musk. There's a lot of criticism about him. About the things he puts on Twitter, or X as he now renamed it. The fact that he's called one of his kids X.
Yeah.
I mean, in the article, it also talks about Richard Branson and Alan Sugar. Yeah, now obviously an older generation, both innovators, both entrepreneurs, both made large quantities of money. Alan Sugar, very famous on TV with The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Richard Branson, the name behind Virgin. And a lot of crazy, he's been developing some space program thing alongside while Musk has been doing his.
Yeah.
But with not so much success, unfortunately. But, would you say Richard Branson and Alan Sugar were charismatic?
Yeah, again, I don't know. I think perhaps just because someone is successful, certain people attribute charisma to that. I mean, you have to really meet somebody and get to know them to know if they are really charismatic. And I can't say I've ever met any of these people, so I don't really know.
We don't walk in their circle, do we?
We're not billionaires, not yet. So, we don't get invited to the same parties, do we?
No. See, that's what I always say to students, always add yet, because yet means you might be in the future.
Yeah.
We're not billionaires yet.
But we hope, don't we?
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think, have you ever met anybody in real life who you consider to be charismatic? You had that charisma, that X factor?
No. Apart from you.
Okay, apart from me. But I think my answer is the same. No, I think charisma is, I don't know, it's real charisma is something that is so unique. There's only a few people who have real charisma.
There was, if you look at the talks by Barack Obama, he's got a kind of, they talk about the presidential voice. I think the presidential voice is very charismatic.
Okay.
The way he speaks and presents ideas, even if you don't agree with him, he is an engaging speaker. I think an engaging speaker is somebody who's very charismatic, who grabs your attention.
Okay.
You want to listen, yeah?
Yeah.
And when Tony Blair was going for Prime Minister, he went across the pond to Bill Clinton, didn't he? To learn how to be charismatic. And there was this whole thing about, the way you talk with your hands, how you shake somebody's hand by putting your other hand on their upper arm. Yeah. There's lots of little tweaks of your body language and things that you can do, which makes you more liked by the other person and the people viewing you. And therefore, that's, I think, a whole part of charisma.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But it's fake, isn't it? You're being false.
Yeah. I think particularly in the world of politics, it is fake. Mm-hmm. It's, I'm pretty sure they go to, acting class, a bit like footballers, soccer players, they learn how to fall over, they spend days and days training how to fall over in a way that catches the attention of the referee to get a yellow card or a free kick. Mm-hmm. Politicians go to school to learn how to communicate in that false way. Mm-hmm. So it's false charisma. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then Musk, he's not that though, is he? He's not a politician. He's just there.
Yeah. He's what I would call an enigma.
An anomaly.
Yeah. An anomaly. I mean, if I met him, I might completely change my mind. He may be very, very charismatic. But I'm never going to meet him, so I'm never really going to know. So I have to sort of trust other people's opinions who have perhaps met and interviewed him and feel that he is charismatic. But I don't get that impression.
Some people like him, some people hate him. I think the fact that there is this dilemma between those who like him and those who don't like him, it keeps the conversation going, which is part of the charisma. It's part of the mystery.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But talking about sort of charisma and leadership, how important is charisma in the business world, in leadership, in managing people?
Well, I didn't know this, but apparently there is actually a charisma-based model of management. Would you believe that? That was replaced by leadership styles described as authentic or shared. I mean, that just sounds ridiculous in my book.
Yeah. It's very woke language.
Yeah, I'm going to say my teaching style is authentic.
Yeah, I'm very authentic. Yeah. But what does it mean? That's the problem. Someone's authentic. What does that mean?
I don't know. But it's open to interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. So a charismatic leader, a charismatic management style. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what that means. I mean, I think we know good leadership when we experience it and when we see it. I would probably know charisma when I experience it. Yeah. But like a lot of things, it's very, very difficult to define and put it into a package. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is this element, wasn't there, in the article where they talk about being superheroes, saying that although charisma was a previous leadership style that sort of fell out of fashion, it's come back because we're in this time of economic hardship, of the economy, recession apparently in the UK. They were said yesterday, and they were saying that people like Musk is the savior of the planet, and they were talking about that crypto guy, weren't they? Saying, what was his name? Sam Bankman-Fried proposes the eradication of world poverty. I mean, how many times have people said, if we solve the problem of world poverty, climate change won't be a problem, everything else will be solved.
Yeah, but it won't. There'll just be another problem. This article talks about Elon Musk fantasizing about saving humankind by colonizing space. And I think it was yesterday, or was it the day before, we saw news of a SpaceX rocket taking off, going to the moon.
Yesterday, yeah.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
And, if you look at the fuel involved in sending a rocket into space, that is just creating global warming.
Well, not the actual rocket, but it's, again, a vast amount of fuel consumption.
Yeah, it's a vast amount of fuel consumption to colonize space. I mean, we probably could colonize space if we used every last, fossil fuel and resource that we have on this planet. This planet would be dead, but we would be colonizing space. Excellent use of resources.
It's not going to happen in our lifetime, Paul, so I really wouldn't worry about it.
No. Just like, the eradication of world poverty could be achieved through crypto, apparently. And I can see the idea is very, very, very appealing. But the reality is going to be very, very different because, not everyone has access to crypto, first of all. Especially the poorest people don't have access to crypto. And if crypto is the only currency available, what happens to all the people who've got their savings in, I don't know, gold or dollars? You're taking wealth from one element to give wealth to another element.
I think the problem with world poverty is the people who are trying to provide the solution have no true concept of what it's like for the people who are in the situation. And those two worlds, you could go and observe and everything, but they will never meet to the point where the people who need to solve the problem truly understand what the problem is.
Yeah.
They've got to live, what do they say? Walk the walk before they can talk the talk.
Yeah.
And they just don't understand.
No, I think you're right.
I don't understand it.
No, you're right. We don't understand it. But I think if you were a politician and you were in a position where you could really do something to help end poverty, you don't need special advisors. You don't need political advisors to tell you what's a good idea. You need to go and talk to somebody who lives in poverty and has lived in poverty for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and ask them what they need. And the chances are what they need is going to be what everyone else in that situation needs.
Well, I think, across the board, when you talk to anybody, everybody just wants to be happy, be healthy, and have a nice life.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what nationality you are, where you're from, what's going on in that's all you want, whether you've got a job or not, whatever. That's all you want, isn't it?
Yeah. But if you can do it charismatically with $56 billion in your back pocket, life's a little bit better, isn't it?
Yeah, buy a few Teslas with that, couldn't you?
You could, yeah.
Okay.
So,
So,
charisma.
Do you think charismatic leadership is here to stay?
No, I don't ever think it was here in the first place. There are very few people who are truly charismatic. And I doubt those people are truly leaders of business and things like that. The most charismatic people are probably the people that appear in the movies.
Well, they're acting.
Yeah.
And that's not real life.
But I think if you met them, I think some of them would be very, very charismatic people. I don't know. I imagine, say, Anthony Hopkins. I don't know either, but, What about you? Do you think charismatic leadership or authentic leadership is here to stay?
I'm not big fans of leadership, full stop, really. You know that.
I'll tell you what I would like for someone to actually define exactly what authentic leadership is in a way that is understandable, rather than just using it as a throwaway line. Oh, my leadership style is authentic.
Okay, we'll put that challenge out there. Anybody wants to get in touch, give us your definition of charismatic leadership.
Yeah.
Or authentic leadership.
Yeah. But do it charismatically.
And authentically.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Bye. Thanks for listening. We hope you liked our podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Until next time, goodbye.